The West Texas A&M Buffaloes opened Lone Star Conference play this past Monday night with an 83-77 win over Arkansas Fort Smith. That game saw point guard Julius Brown return to the lineup and tally a team-high 21 points, while Damian Thornton, Zach Toussaint, and Ahmed Muhammad also tallied double-figure scoring totals. This afternoon's opponent, Oklahoma Christian, took Lubbock Christian into overtime Thursday night before losing by 2 points. The Eagles saw a 3-game win streak snapped with that loss, but it wasn't without a fight. Guard Mahu's three-pointer in the final minute helped OCU overcome a 5-point deficit in the closing minutes to send that game into overtime, only to have LCU hit a layup with 2 seconds remaining in the game, clinching the win for the Chaps. The Eagles average over 79 points a game. They allow fewer than 64. The Buffs, Lucas Kinsey, average 81 a game. This could be an up-and-down-the-court affair.
I really think that it could, Kent. And I also, I think that this is a game where both teams, they really competed in tight games on Thursday. So you're going to come out whose legs are maybe a little fresher, who has a good start in this one. For West Texas A&M, Kent, they didn't have the great start, but they had the great finish. The Buffaloes did on Thursday in that one. They scored 51 points in the first half. WT wins it by 6 points. We were so glad to see that guy back on the court, Julius Brown. What a performance he had.
Yeah, to have been gone 2 weeks due to a family issue, a death in the family, he returned. Any rust? No, not a bit. Hit his first 2 shots, both of which were threes to get the Buffs out of the chute. And you love to have Julius on the floor, and you love to have him back in the lineup. Let's meet the starting lineup for this afternoon's game. First, the Eagles from Oklahoma Christian. They are 4-2, 0-1 in LSC play in their 3rd season under head coach Kendra Talley. They'll start at one guard, Montre Edmondson, a 5'10 junior from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Edmondson averages 13.3 points, 6.2 rebounds. Second guard, Carlin Kenner, 6'2 junior from Dallas. He averages 12.5 points, 3 rebounds a game. The third guard is Drew Tenniel, 6'5 junior from Edmond, Oklahoma. He's the team's leading scorer, 18 points, 7.3 rebounds. The forwards are Antonio Gordon, a 6'9 junior from Lawton, Oklahoma, who averages 13.3 points, 7.7 rebounds. He has 12 blocks already this season, as well as Nike Madison, 6'5 junior from Midlothian, Texas. Nike averages 6.5 points, 3.8 rebounds. For the Buffaloes, they're ranked 25th in the latest NABC coaches poll. They're in their 9th season under head coach Tom Brown. They dropped their first 2 games of the season, have since ran off 3 straight, including 1-0 in LSC play. They'll start the 5-guard lineup. At the point, Julius Brown, a 5'10 senior from Westerville, Ohio. Julius averages 17.7 points, 2.3 rebounds. He had 21 points Thursday night against Arkansas Fort Smith. Ryland Holtz, a guard, a 6'6 junior from Gibson City, Illinois, 6.2 points, 4 rebounds a game. Zach Toussaint, 5'11 junior guard from Johnsburg, Illinois, averages 12.6 points, 2.4 rebounds. He had 17 points, going 4 of 5 on 3-pointers Thursday night against Arkansas Fort Smith. Addison Wallace is a 6'3 sophomore guard from Cleburne, averaging 7 points, 5.5 rebounds. He had a double-double a week ago against Oklahoma Baptist. Rounding out the starting 5 for the Buffaloes, Larry Wise, 6'4 sophomore from Waxahachie, Texas, averages 12.3 points, 3.8 rebounds. Had the uncharacteristic line stat this past Thursday of no points at all. That's a rarity for Larry. He normally scores in double figures. Our officials tonight, Damon Thomas, Derek Barnes, and Jared Howell. And Lucas Kinsey, it's early in the conference basketball schedule, but as we know from years past, every game of vital importance.
It really is, Kent. And one thing for WT that we saw the other night, this is a team that is still trying to figure out, there's a lot of new faces. They're trying to figure out their role. They're trying to figure out how they play together. you look at the last couple of weeks, and not everybody was out on the floor at the same time. But the other night, I mean, goodness, they had a big conference win, and the all-conference player, Larry Wise, did not score a point. I'm expecting Larry to have a bounce-back game today. Ryland Holt, another player that he's starting to find his role as a defender and a hustling player out there on the court.
Buffs in the white Under Armour with the maroon West Texas and numeral on the front. OCU in the maroon uniforms, Oklahoma Christian, bracketing the white numerals on their chest. Buffs win the tip. They're going from our left to our right here in the first half. Ryland Holt atop the key to Wise. Back to Holt. Here's Julius Brown in the paint. Step back from 15. A little strong, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Eagles' Tenniel.
He's a strong player, 6'5", scores 18 points a game. They have a lot of players with some length, the Eagles do.
Kenner, Dallas native, guarded by Toussaint. Gets around Zach, turns around, jump shot off the glass, no good. Holt taps the ball to Toussaint. Scoreless early on here at the First United Bank Center in Canyon, Texas. Wallace wide open for a three, misfires. Eagles come down with the rebound.
A lot of maroon and white out on the floor today, KJ. Like the OCU, their Eagles uniforms, kind of old school.
Yeah, very classic look. Here's Kenner. Left wing to Edmondson. Lob down low to Gordon. Guarded by Wise. Gordon in the paint. Wild shot high off the glass, and it's Wallace with the rebound for the Buffs. Kicks it out to Brown. Thought he had a mid-range shot and elected against it.
It was good defense by the Eagles to cut off the shot opportunity, but Julius is going to draw a foul.
Went to the basket with the left hand, switched to the right, and drew the foul.
I really cannot imagine the defensive assignment of trying to stay with Julius Brown. He is one of the quicker players that we have seen wear a Buff uniform, and we've seen some pretty quick ones.
Montre Edmondson called for the foul, the team's first. Julius at the line, shooting twice, knocks down the first.
You know, and Julius has a lot of skill to go along with his athleticism. He's an excellent ball handler. You rarely see him get out of control while he's driving.
And probably haven't had a player since David Chavlovic that shows the joy of playing basketball while on the floor that what Julius does. I mean, that's got to be devastating as a defender. Or offensively, trying to maneuver against him when he's smiling the whole time he's cracking down on you.
And that's another big reason why the other four players, his teammates on the floor with him, they love playing with Juju.
Here's Gordon, tries to back it down, kicks it outside. Shot clock at 10. Kenner with a strong drive. Too strong with the shot. Larry Wise says, that one's mine, boys. Wallace to Holt. He's open. He's going to drive in.
Whoa.
Oh, not right now, says Nike Madison. The 6'5 junior gets up in the air and swats it out of bounds.
Nike with the spike, KJ. Wow.
Nike spelled N-Y-K. Brown gets it in deep to Wise. Buffs up 2-0. Wise in the paint. Off the glass, won't go. Look at Holt fight for the rebound. Wallace comes up with it. We're going to have a jump ball.
Okay.
It's going to be Oklahoma Christian's possession.
And even though the Buffs don't score out of that, I want to talk about the play that Ryland Holt just made. That's what I feel like. Ryland is finding his niche. He is finding his role on this team, and it's making plays like that. The shot goes up. He is racing into the paint, getting a hand on it, and keeping the ball alive for the Buffs with the offensive glass.
Well, that possession also showed the Buffs are going to play tough. Here's Madison. Right wing to Tenniel. Shot clock approaching 10. Tenniel tries to find Madison underneath. Holt kicks out his left leg, kicks the ball out of bounds. To be a fresh 20 for OCU. Edmondson to inbound. Pass inside, picked off by Holt. Here come the Buffaloes. Wise, strong to the hole, off the glass and in.
I knew Larry the Hooper was going to be extra motivated today. You do not hold him down 2 games in a row. This Oklahoma Christian team can't. A couple of things that stand out to me. They only allow 64 points a game. They hold their opponents to 39% shooting. They also out-rebound their opponents by 11.
Yeah, that's a huge margin. That's a walk. Oh, they're calling a foul. Damon Thomas is going to ring up, I believe.
So contact
Larry
before
Wise.
steps.
Yep, it's Addison Wallace. Buffs with strong defense there.
Going to get Ahmed Muhammad on the floor. What a freshman season he is having.
Freshman from Glendale, Arizona.
And he showed the other night, Thursday, Kent, he's a great scorer, but I thought his defense was really good in the win over Arkansas Fort Smith.
Sees the floor well. Knows his positioning. Oh, the Buffs had the defense there, and they backed off and gave Drew Tenniel a clear shot at the hoop. What happened there, Lucas?
Well, he just waited. I mean, he had such strength that he was able to keep his position. Defenders thinking he's going to pass, he just kind of faces back up to the basket and scoops it in.
You heard the slap as Julius Brown charged the hole. Early on, the Buffs passing up the outside shot. They've seen something in the scouting report that says take it to the hole.
Well, in the lineup the Buffs have on the floor right now, you got to know where your help defense can come from. You can't help off of Larry Wise. He's a great three-point shooter. You also cannot help off of Muhammad. He'll shoot the three, but if you're guarding either Addison Wallace or Rylan Holt, you got to be ready to step over and help because Juju is just way too quick. He's up at the rim before you know what's going on.
That foul was on Carlin Kenner, his first, the Eagles' second. Brown knocks down the first, can put the Buffs up by 4 if he connects on this one, which he does not.
You get Damian Thornton on, along with Jesse Iwizi and Brock Meshach.
Going a little taller with this lineup. Here's a 3 outside, too strong by Antonio Gordon. Brown with the rebound, looks around for help, kicks it back to Thornton, right wing, Muhammad. 3, nothing but net.
Yep. Quick release by Ahmed Muhammad.
Buffs up 6 at 8-2. 15:45 to play in the first. Oklahoma Christian gets the ball down court quickly and finishes with a Nike Madison flush.
That was a good two-man game. Antonio Gordon, the 6'9" post player, showing off his passing skills there. Good assist. Feed for the dunk.
Here's Thornton on the wing. No one comes out. He'll put it up and knock it down. So no sooner do I notice the Buffs taking it to the rack. They say, hey, let's shoot some 3 practice out here. 11-4 Buffaloes.
They get hot shooting defensively. It just becomes such a challenge. How do you defend WT?
Here's Tenniel, drives in, puts it off the glass. 4 points for the Edmond, Oklahoma native. 5-point Buffalo lead. Thornton open from 17. Won't go, but there's Muhammad with the putback, and we're going to have a foul. Ahmed Muhammad to the line twice.
He just is always around the ball, and no one blocked him out that time, and so an easy offensive rebound, and Muhammad will go to the free throw line when we come back after this timeout. Score 11-6. WT leads by 5. 14:47 to play here from the First United Bank Center first half action. We're back after these messages.
Welcome to Shimin Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimin Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimin Dental Group for your appointment today.
Texas A&M leads by 5 points early here. First media timeout. As you see there, 11-6 score. Ahmed Muhammad going to the free throw line. And early in this one, kind of seeing the contrasting styles offensively. Oklahoma Christian strong. Their post presence, they're all pretty big, and they're getting the ball inside. The Buffs, transition game, shooting threes, slashing to the rim. And right now it's in favor of the Buffs. They've doubled up the Eagles early.
You mentioned what a strong rebounding team this Eagles squad is. The Buffs out-rebounding them 7-3.
Yeah, and Kent, it's, we shouldn't be surprised anymore, but so many games you and I have done with the Buffaloes, we come in and we say, well, we're shorter. Yeah. we're smaller.
That's not a factor anymore.
But they just hustle. They play great team defense effort, with the effort that they show. And so the Buffaloes rebound the ball pretty well themselves.
And the Buffs have an early 7-point lead as the lob inside to Nike Madison goes out of bounds. I think Brock Mashak got a hand on it there. As Larry Wise returns to the lineup, replacing Mashak. Wise joins Awizi, Muhammad, Thornton, and Toussaint on the floor. Eagles basketball, 8 on the shot clock. Edmondson drives on Muhammad off the glass, too strong, no good. Ball loose, out of bounds. They're going to give it to OCU.
That went the opposite direction from what head coach Tom Brown was pointing, just saying.
This is Kenner outside. As the Eagles get a fresh 20, and it's down to 10 now. Lobs it under to Madison. Turns around on Awizi, short. Thornton with the rebound.
That was solid defense by Jesse.
Look at Damian go coast to coast.
I thought he was going to dunk it.
I was waiting for it.
He was switching hands and went with the left-hand layup.
Thornton got just past the midway stripe, saw no one was stepping in front, and he accelerated to the bucket. Now the Buff defense forces a turnover.
You see the great defensive play. Here's this play by Thornton.
Look at him just accelerate.
I think that is when Thornton is at his best. Up and down game, in the flow. Let's see what they do here on this possession.
Holt's going to take a three and rims out. No good. Gordon with the defensive board and throws the ball away. He passed it to Kenner, who was just turning around, but he put it right in Kenner's back.
Well, Oklahoma Christian a little sloppy with the ball early. Their third turnover. You can't give WT extra possessions. You go down and do not even get a shot off, but the Buffs turn around and they commit a turnover themselves.
That'll be the Buffs' second. Buffs with a 9-point lead at 15-6, 13-25 to play in the first half.
Yeah, over the last 137, the Eagles have committed those 3 turnovers, so they need to get the ball in the paint. Now they bring extra size in as Hunter Staten is in. He's a 6'9 junior from Stillwater.
Lob inside intended for Gordon, but that's the second time that they've tried to get the ball underneath and overshot.
Yeah, this is maddening here for head coach Kendra Talley. He played for Oklahoma Christian back in 2010 to 2014, averaged 17 points a game. He was a guard.
That hadn't been that long ago.
I know.
He's young.
He is very young.
Thornton. Step back. Passes off to Wise. Knocks it down for 2. And Kendra Talley wants a timeout. Not happy with his team at all.
Well, and he shouldn't be right now. They're just sloppy on the offensive end with the turnovers, not being focused defensively. Can't give Larry this much space. They don't communicate on the ball screen. And Wise is off to a good start, as are the Buffaloes. We'll keep it here. It's just a 30-second timeout as WT leads by 11 points.
Buffs 5 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 5 of 6 from the line. So offensively, they've got it cooking. Oklahoma Christian just 3 of 9 from the floor. They've missed their only three-point attempt. They haven't been to the line, and they've committed 4 turnovers in the first 6 minutes of the basketball game.
Well, and I told you, Kent, about these numbers for Oklahoma Christian and how they hold their opponents down to low numbers offensively. Right now the Buffs are doing the job against Oklahoma Christian with their defense, which I feel like has improved over the last 3 or 4 games.
Offensively and defensively, the Buffs on a 6-0 run, courtesy of 5 field goals out of their last 7, and they forced 3 Oklahoma Christian turnovers in the last 2-10. There's another miss, and Julius comes down with it. Ahead to Wise, off the glass, yes, and one! Nice continuation by Larry Wise. He stuck with it after he was fouled and gets the layup. And after being held scoreless Thursday night, he already has 6 and an opportunity for 7.
You know, Larry is a humble young man, pretty quiet, doesn't showboat at all. But I know he is a competitor. And the other night, he just did not have a great game. But the best competitors, they're like, hey, when do we play again? Okay, you only have one day, and then I get to get back out on the floor again. Larry's making up for Thursday night in a big way already.
Antonio Gordon whistled for the foul, his first, the Eagles' 4th. Here's Hunter Staten, 6'9" junior from Stillwater, Oklahoma, on the floor now for the Eagles, as they get it inside to Tenniel, who puts it up and in and draws the foul. Tenniel already with 6.
That's what Coach Talley wanted to see. He just had not seen it in quite some time.
Damian Thornton draws the foul, his first, the Buffs' 2nd.
Yeah, looking at Tenniel, he is a strong player, and the Buffs are going to have to double-team him, sometimes even triple-team him.
Knocks down the bonus. He has 7, matches the Buffs' Larry Wise for game-high scoring honors. Buffs lead trimmed to 11. Here's Wallace on the wing. Up top to Wise, doesn't hesitate, knocks down the 3. Addison saw Larry shoot to the top. As soon as that ball hit Wise's fingertips, that shot was off. 23-9 West Texas. Here's Tenniel, drives in. Oh, Ryland Holt comes over everybody to knock the ball out of bounds, and that takes us to a full timeout.
Yes, sir. This is help defense. We said Tenniel was going to draw 2, sometimes 3 defenders. Holt knows exactly where the ball is at all times. Comes over. Tenniel has a shot. No, he does not. Big block from Ryland Holt, and the Buffs lead it by 14 points. Timeout on the floor. We're back right after these messages on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Eagles to inbound. They get it into Edmondson. Staten. Lob underneath to Tenniel. Double team. Turned around. Ryland Holt ties him up. Buffs basketball. That's 2 defensive plays, Lucas Kinsey, that Ryland Holt made in 1 possession.
I really, I said it earlier, but I just feel like Holt is coming into his own. He's feeling, transfers over from Minnesota State Mankato, and it's like, hey, what is my role here for the Buffaloes? He's figuring it out.
Wise pump fake. Finds Wallace in the corner. Top to Holt for 3. Knocks it down. The Buffs are clicking.
And see, when you're doing good things on the defensive end, you're just feeling good. You're feeling confident. Catch the ball at the top, let it fly, and the 3 is good for Holt. He's off to a great start.
26-9. 11 to play here in the first half.
This is one where the Eagles have got to be careful. It's going to get away from them.
Staten hands it off to Tenniel, guarded by Wallace. Shot clock at 9. Tenniel almost throws it away. Shot clock at 4. Here's Kenner. trying to make something happen, forces it up and draws a foul.
I think Zach got him on the arm on the drive.
And Toussaint picks up his first. The shot clock was just about to sound.
The Eagles from the three-point line this year, they obviously like to get the ball inside and score it in the paint, but they shoot 34% from the three-point line. This is going to be a game, Kent, where they're going to have to get WT stretched out on the perimeter a little bit to open up some driving lanes and the paint inside. Both free throws good there, so they needed those points from Kenner. But the Buffs, a big advantage right now, leading by 15 points with 10.5 minutes to play here in the first half. They switch to 2-3 zone now, the Eagles do.
Toussaint up top to Wallace, cross court to Brown. Shot clock at 10. Toussaint, long three. They can't miss right now. They are in that zone, and you better enjoy it while it lasts.
Wow. Yeah, for Zach Toussaint, 235 three-pointers now in his career, fourth all time.
And there's a turnover. Brown, Buffs have numbers. Julius all the way to the rack.
When he's dribbling the ball, racing down the court, it's like when you're a kid, if you see a race between two kids on the playground, it was just completely unfair. Julius just runs away.
Buffs 5 of 7 from the three-point range, and there we're going to have a push. Underneath, turnover against Oklahoma Christian. This is going to go against Antonio Gordon, his second, the team's 5th.
You like cars, Kent, so it's like Julius is the Maserati, and he's going against I drive a Mazda, so yeah. I guess you could say Maserati versus a Mazda.
I don't know if you're a Jay Bilas fan. I think he's very insightful. He made a comment the other day in a situation like that. He says it's like playing against your dad in the backyard when you were 8.
Julius is that quick.
Dad can do what he wants. Shot clock at 6. Brown from 15.
Goodness.
Well, 7 for Brown. Buffs lead now at 22.
The problem for Oklahoma Christian, too, Kent, is you can see the frustration. You can see the body language that the frustration is mounting, and it just feels like it's more and more pressure every time they get the ball and they go on the offensive end.
Just inside of 9 to play in the first. That's something the Eagles needed. A 3 from the corner by Drew Tenniel, and thank goodness Tenniel showed up today. He now has 10 points. Wise outside, thought about it. Goes to Brown. Holt from the block. Turns around off the glass. He'll go to the line for the shot.
Great post moves there by Rylan Holt. This is going to be interesting to see how long Oklahoma Christian will stay in this zone because the Buffs are moving the ball so quickly. They're really getting whatever shot they want, whether it's inside here like Holt or the last couple possessions, deep three-pointers.
That foul was on Jovan Savic, 6'10", sophomore from Belgrade, Serbia.
It's just
it's his first, the team's 6th. Holt makes the first. He has a second one still to come.
His numbers are crazy. 65% shooting for the Buffaloes from the field.
Yeah.
71% from the three-point line. Goodness.
5 of 7.
And then they're 7 of 8 at the free throw line. Now make it 8 for 9.
Yeah, you want to bottle this up and keep it. Edmondson bringing the Eagles up across the timeline. DJ Walter, a 6'5" senior from Midwest City, on the floor now. Here's Walter up top. Left side to Tenniel. Tenniel almost loses it. We're going to have a reach called against WT.
What they get.
DeMond Thomas says Ryland Holt is the guilty party.
They've done a good job of help defense. The thing on the help defense is you got to be careful with your hands. Move your feet to get in good position, but you get too greedy and reach in, they'll call those fouls.
For those of you interested in the D2 football playoffs, they've got 10 minutes to play down in San Angelo. Colorado School of Mines 35-24 over Angelo State. As Mashak rims out a 3, but an offensive board for the Buffs. Wallace goes in, has the ball stripped away. Holt goes up strong, and we're going to have a foul. I believe Savic is going to be guilty of it. Yes, it is.
Well, I am loving the effort that we're seeing from Ryland Holt today. Rebounding, help defense, blocking shots. The garbage man for the Buffaloes today, and he's going to be at the free throw line. Timeout on the floor, 35-14. Buffaloes lead with 7:56 left here in the first half.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology, innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Some fans hanging out. Kent, they're enjoying your favorite here at the First United Bank Center, some popcorn right there.
I tell you what, we travel around the Lone Star Conference, and I like to judge the popcorn. The popcorn here at the First United Bank Center is outstanding. It's hot, it's crispy, it's salty.
Okay. So I'm going to give you my one venue where the popcorn was pretty good. And it's not just because I'm from Oklahoma, but it was
Aggie Jim.
It was Aggie Jim.
Because they serve it in those brown paper bags, and that's like going to the theater back when you were a kid.
Well, the Buffaloes have speaking of popcorn and movie theaters and shows, WT's putting on a show right now for the home fans, leading 37-14.
Speaking of the Aggies of Cameron, they're at Dallas Baptist. 28 seconds to play. DBU 76-74.
Okay.
That's a Cameron team that has a new coach this year. And have a push underneath. Drew Tenniel will go to the line, shooting twice. They got Jesse Oweezy with his first personal. Team's 5th against the Buffaloes. WT shooting 61% from the floor, 63% from three-point range, 91% from the line. As Tenniel knocks down his first. Misses the second. Score stands at 37-15, West Texas. 7:30 to play here in the first. Muhammad to Thornton.
Now they've gone back man-to-man.
Up top to Wallace. Oh, wanted to find Muhammad on the wing, and Ahmed was thinking, I'm going to drive towards the basket. He was probably going to swing to the far corner.
Rare turnover, though, for the Buffs.
It's going to be number 3.
Okay.
Here's Gordon for the Eagles. Far sideline. Down low to Tenniel. Tenniel backs in on Wallace, works him, turns around, and puts it in.
Incredibly difficult shot. Looking at the Buffalo bench, almost saw down there David Chavlovic raise his head and say, well, okay, I used to make those.
Tenniel with 13. He averages 18. Here's Mishak. And a rejection. Antonio Gordon gets up and knocks that one away.
We got subs coming in here for the Buffaloes. Here's the replay. It's a block all the way up top. What Tom Brown is arguing about is the follow-through, really with the lower body, kind of sends Mishak landing down to the floor, but up top it was all ball.
Shot clock at 19. Wise. Almost lost it. Didn't walk. To Brown. Step back from 16, short. Rebound by Kenner.
It's only the second shot Julius has missed today.
There goes the percentage. Gordon got a whistle down low, and we're having an offensive foul, Lucas.
And that's the right call. A lot of times you see the contact underneath, and it does go against the defender. But Damian Thornton was moving his feet. Tenniel, who is so strong, got his arms up And the foul was called against the Eagles for Tenniel, his second personal foul.
6:20 to play in the first. Buffs up by 20, 37-17. Here's Thornton. Wants to do it, spins, fade away, a little strong off the back of the iron.
Yeah, I would have rather seen Damian go at Tenniel. He just picked up his second foul. If you could get him to maybe get up in the air and pick up a third, he'd have to go to the bench. But Eagles do the job defensively that time.
Here's Kenner. Gets a screen from Gordon. Steps back. Walter ahead to Edmondson for the lay-in.
That was a rare time where the help defense was just not there, and the Eagles slipped through for an easy layup.
Got a 30-second timeout. Lady Buff volleyball tonight, Lucas. National championship
That's
game.
right.
WT's 5th appearance. If you're watching or listening to our broadcast here, come on down to the First United Bank Center. We are going to have the game on the literally the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
Watch party here at the First United Bank Center at the conclusion of the Buffs game this afternoon.
And, Kent, I've been watching the matches, the quarterfinal match and then the semifinal match on NCAA.com. And a great contention of Buff Nation that made the trip to Seattle.
Yeah.
Last night they're trying to close out their opponent, and in the fourth set, I felt like I was at the box. I mean, the fans are up on their feet. They're clapping and stomping and cheering, and so that's a lot of fun. It should be a great finals match against Concordia St. Paul.
5:40 to play, first half here at the First United Bank Center. Buffs leading 37-19. Wise spins around off the glass, and he can't get it to go. Did everything but finish, and they get it ahead to Tenniel. His shot no good, but there with the putback, DJ Walter. Some people call those garbage points, but they count just the same.
They do. That was a really good hustle. And so the last couple possessions, a little mini run here by Oklahoma Christian. Now they're playing a little harder defensively.
Trimmed this Buff lead down to 16. Thornton with the shot clock at 10. On the right elbow. Tries to find Toussaint. The ball was slapped away. Down at the other end. Shot missed by Gordon.
That was a beautiful move. Just left it short. That would have cut it to 14. Instead,
Wise for three. Bumps it up to 17.
Now you saw that one coming because the transition defense, you can't get lost. You can't commit 2-1 because you end up leaving someone open. That someone was Larry Wise.
The Eagles made the stop offensively. They had their opportunity on the offensive end, and now they do answer.
He has a unique release, high, hand up there. It worked there for Tenniel, who is having a great game. He has 16 of the 24 points for Oklahoma Christian.
Toussaint with the reverse, fouled. He'll go to the line. Foul goes against DJ Walter, his first, team's 9th.
Good ball screen, and the help doesn't completely stop the ball, so Zach makes the right offensive move there.
Toussaint 8 of 10 from the line. Through 5 games, knocks down the first.
Oklahoma Christian, they're only 2 losses on the season. We're both very close. They lost to Black Hills State, a very good team. Just by 7 points in their second game of the year, and then obviously Thursday in the overtime, 2-point loss to a very good Lubbock Christian team.
Toussaint misses the second.
They've got their work cut out for them right now, though, the Eagles trailing by 17 in the first half.
They get it inside to Tenniel, who goes up and is fouled by Holt. Ryland picks up his second.
At this point, Kent, Tenniel is just saying, guys, I'll shoulder the load.
Give me the ball. Media timeout on the floor, 3:54 to play in the first. Buffs ahead, 41-24. You're watching West Texas A&M basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
There's a look at Oklahoma Christian head coach Kendra Talley in his 3rd season with the Eagles. And there's Tom Brown, 9th year at the helm for the Buffaloes. WT leading 41-24. And at the line right now, Drew Tiniel.
He's 2 of 3 from the line. Knocks down the first of his 2 opportunities. 17 points thus far.
And he averages 18 a game.
Well, he's there.
Yeah.
He can take a seat. Let someone else play now. Heck of a performance by the Edmond, Oklahoma native. Now a little pressure in the backcourt. Buffs break it. Buffs with numbers. Wise to the rack and in the hole.
Way too easy there for Larry Wise.
You know, the Eagles had the pressure in the backcourt, but when the Buffs broke it, they didn't retreat back fast enough.
Nope.
Here's Gordon. Drives down on the wing, kicks it on top to Edmondson. Long 3, too strong. Ball comes to Brown.
Well, not great effort to try to track down that rebound. Just bounced right into the hands of Julius.
Wise to Toussaint. He's open. He takes it. He makes it.
Zach makes it from really anywhere. That one was very, very deep, a couple feet behind the three-point line. Wow.
And I don't know if there's anybody that can catch and shoot from outside like he does.
Pop a shot, Zach Toussaint.
Here's Walter in the paint, makes it count. He's got 4.
Yeah, Zach continuing his hot hand. He was 4 for 5 from the three-point line Thursday in the win over Arkansas Fort Smith.
Brown, step back from 15.
Julius Brown.
Yeah, he gets the defender backing up because he's so quick. So when he pulls up and he raises up to shoot his jump shot, he's got a lot of space.
Tiniel with the turnaround.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Double wow there, Kent. I mean,
man,
he is making very difficult shots here in this first half. Again, his team trails by 18, but without the services of Tiniel, who has 20 points, they'd be in big trouble.
Zach was open, couldn't get it to go. Gordon with the defensive board. Now Edmondson directing traffic. Toussaint follows him. Here's a 3 by Kenner. No good. There's Holt with the rebound. Quickly ahead to Wallace, who loses the ball. Down at the other end, Gordon.
He lost it, but that ball bounced up high enough in the air. I told you those balls have got some good juice in them. And he just gathered it in midair and put the layup in.
1:20 to play in the first. Buffs sniffing half 100 here. Wallace off the glass. They're going to call the foul on the floor.
Oh, they were going to count it.
Foul's going to go against Montre Edmondson.
And Kent, this ball screen is from Zach Toussaint. He sets the screen, frees open Larry, and as Larry does, just calmly, casually absorbs contact and puts the ball up. It went in, but the foul was on the floor.
AOMS strip to the line.
Wise goes to the line with 15 points. Make it 16, and the Buffs now have 49. 2.5 to play down in San Angelo. Colorado Mines 35, Angelo State 24 in NCAA D2 football playoff action, and Larry Wise gives the Buffs 50-32. Lucas Kinsey suddenly drawn to the American Athletic Conference Championship game.
A lot of football stuff going on. I just saw that during the break there that Tulane is on.
Tulane, they're having a breakout season. There's a turnaround from Tennyson. Speaking of breakout, Gordon with the rebound.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's DJ Walter for his 6th point.
You're getting better production offensively for Oklahoma Christian over the last 10 minutes, but still they're having a hard time slowing the Buffs down on the offensive side.
Nice pass from Brown to Thornton, but they couldn't convert. The Eagles beat the Buffs down court. 35 seconds to play.
Tom Brown screaming out, slow down. Let's get things under control here. Still up by 14 points, but he does not want to turn the ball back over to Oklahoma Christian with just 18 seconds on the shot clock.
Buffs have led by more than 20 in this half. It's currently sitting at 14. 10 on the game clock.
Oop.
Brown goes in and lost it. Here's Gordon off the glass. Rebound, Tenniel. It won't go. They're going to call goaltending.
Yep. Well, a good run by Oklahoma Christian to close out the first half. You know, you go back, Kent, what the largest lead for WT was at 22 points. Nope, that's looking at the wrong one there, sorry. Largest lead, 23 points at the 7:58 mark. And now here we're going to go to halftime, only leading by 12.
Eagles finish strong. Be interesting to see if they can carry that into the second half. 50-38 our score. West Texas A&M leading Oklahoma Christian. We'll take a timeout. Come back with our halftime activities, which will include Lucas visiting with Lady Buff head coach Josh Kroc. You're watching Buffalo basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of the Carbon-Free 2050. You, us, together.
Went for a onside kick, landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences has provided high-quality education to the students of the Panhandle and beyond.
At WT, professors know me and are committed to my success.
If you want to get an ag industry job, WT is where you need to be.
I don't want just a job and a paycheck after graduation. I want a career where I can make a difference.
WT invested in my career. I intend to pay it forward.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Well, welcome back to the First United Bank Center. We're at halftime, and the West Texas A&M men lead over Oklahoma Christian by the score of 50-38. Right now being joined at halftime by Lady Buff head coach Josh Prock. And, Coach, congratulations. Your team gets another win today, goes to 2-0 in conference play with a win over Oklahoma Christian by the final today of 66-51. Your thoughts on this game, which really I felt like first half, maybe a little sluggish.
Yeah.
Second half, especially that third quarter, very sharp.
Yeah, first off, I mean, obviously shout out to Coach Brown and his staff and his team. I mean,
Markeith Brown,
Brown, the new coach at Oklahoma Christian. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and I've got so much respect for him. I mean, it was a completely different Oklahoma Christian team that's been in the past.
That's what we said on the broadcast. I mean, they just even from last year, a team that only won 2 games,
right,
which at times you just didn't feel like they were playing hard for 4 quarters.
Right.
That's what we saw here with Oklahoma Christian.
Absolutely. They never gave in. They kept playing hard, and that's just all respect to them. So, but I thought we did come out a little sluggish, Lucas. I mean, I thought our effort, could have been a little bit better. But, give our girls credit. We challenged them at halftime, and obviously coming out in the third quarter, winning that quarter 23-14. I mean, these girls have that championship mentality, and it's fun to watch.
I was visiting with Asia Himer after the game. Felt like she had a great performance for you, scored 11 points, hit 3 3-pointers. But I asked her about that. I said, Asia, we scored 27 points in the first 2 quarters. We scored 23 in the third quarter. Did you get a good talk at halftime, a little extra motivation from Josh Prock? And she cracked a smile, and she said, yes, sir, we got challenged in that locker room, but it was on both ends of the floor. It felt like the defense improved a little bit there in the second half. Go back to Asia. Talk about her, Coach Prock. I feel like her defense is much improved. She's an excellent shooter, but she's playing some pretty good defense.
Well, it's great. I'm glad you brought that up, Lucas, because I 100% agree with you. I mean, she, we didn't know where she's going to come back, this year and see where she was. And,
yeah.
We challenged her in the offseason, for you to get more time, for you to get more minutes, to be on the court like I know you want to. You've got to be a better defender. You got to get better defensively. Look, give her credit. She has. She's gone from to a point where we weren't sure about her defense to now where we're putting her on one of the other team's best players.
So, kind of go into that maybe a little bit more. What are the things specifically that she maybe didn't do last year that she is doing this year?
I think she just one is experience.
Okay.
2, I think she's seeing the floor a lot better. And understanding who she's guarding. Like, if this girl's a driver, this girl's a shooter, whatever the case may be, she's understanding that more. And it's fun to see the development. And then, end of the day, to me, just as a coach, defense comes down to just effort and intensity.
Yeah.
And she's picked that up, too, and so that's been fun to watch.
Watching your team play this year, it seems like every game there's different players that step up and really at different times in the game. Carly Machenbacher obviously did it there in the third quarter to get the Lady Buffs going, but I felt like at the start of the game it was your bench that came in and some players provided spark. Talk about how these young ladies are maybe getting more comfortable finding their roles on this team.
Yeah, I do. I think, and that's still a process, And,
okay.
I mean, what's kind of set us back a little bit is obviously being without Zam a little bit, because she's going to have still such a huge role on this team. But it's been good for other kids because they've been able to step up and find more of their role in what we're doing. So, yeah, I mean, I just think that's a process, Lucas. I think by the end of last year, I think everybody really obviously fit well into what they were doing, and I think we're getting there.
You're going to go on the road next week. Thursday it'll be at Texas A&M Kingsville, and then you'll make the trip to Laredo December 10th and take on Texas A&M International. So you're off to this solid start, 8-0, but you know, Josh, from coaching in this conference for so many years, that you really can't look at records, especially this year. The Lady Buffs are getting the opponent's best shot every time you step on the floor.
Well, that's why I told our girls, I said, winning by 15, again, some teams this may have been a 25, 30-point win, but you're right. I mean, everybody's going to give us their best effort.
Yep.
There's a target on our back. You're the defending champs. 2, you got a high ranking. So that's going to always bring out the best in other people. And, give our girls credit because they're the ones that have to fight it off and still get the job done, and they have.
Josh, before I let you get out of here, I want to give you a chance to talk a little bit about and maybe wish good luck to Kendra Potts and Casey Shingler, the Lady Buff volleyball team. We'll be cheering them on, no doubt. But they're playing for a national championship here in a little while in Seattle. Pretty cool.
Well, what's cool about it is, when I first got here, softball just got off their national championship run. Of course, last year track and field, Master and his guy, and then this year with Coach Potts, it's just it's so much fun to be a part of this West Texas family. I was texting some of my, my administrators last night just how much fun this is to be a part of just that winning culture and everything that it breeds. And so,
it feels like our team. I mean,
it does.
If you're associated with WT, it just does feel that way. It's not like you're just cheering for only this program or that program. You wear the maroon and white with pride.
100%. And I know, Coach, I have no doubt. I have this way that I want the game to go down. So I don't know if Coach Potts is listening. So we're up, 2-1 or whatever.
Okay.
We need one more point. Set Tori Miller, and it's ball game.
Okay, give it to the Terminator.
Just give it to the Terminator. Let her finish it off the right way.
I think Tori is that type of player that she could play defense for the Lady Buff basketball team, right?
Yes, 100%. I love her mentality.
All right, good luck to the Lady Buffs as they take on Concordia St. Paul in the national championship match. Lady Buffs basketball team victorious today, and they stay undefeated. Thanks for coming up and visiting, Josh.
Thanks for your time, Lucas.
Okay, we'll step aside for a break, come back, and have your halftime stats. West Texas A&M men lead it at the break 50-38 over Oklahoma Christian.
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train long, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Buffs lead it at the half, 50-38. Let's take a quick look at the stats. First, our team stats, as you'll see here on our screen. Buffs shooting 56% from the field. That equates to
good.
15 of 27. But, hey, Oklahoma Christian, 52% at 15 of 29. But the Buffs hot from outside, 7 of 11. That's 64% from three-point range, just 2 of 5. For the Eagles. Go to the free throw line. The Buffs were very aggressive offensively. They went there 15 times, knocked down 13. That's 87%. The Eagles shot 86%, but they only went 7 times, hitting 6. Rebounding, it's close. Buffs out-rebounding the Eagles 15-14, and turnovers, the Eagles with 9, the Buffs with 7. Individually for the Eagles, Montre Edmondson has 2 points. Antonio Gordon has 4. Nike Madison with 2. Drew Teniel, the game's high scorer, with 20. DJ Walter with 6. For West Texas A&M, Ahmed Muhammad with 5. Julius Brown with 9. Ryland Holt with 7. Damian Thornton with 5. Zach Toussaint with 7. And Larry Wise, who was held scoreless Thursday night, proved Lucas Kinsey to be a prophet when he said, I predict a big afternoon for Larry, a team-high 17.
Yeah, the Buffs have been cooking offensively in this first half. If you're Coach Talley, though, Kent, you really have to be feeling fortunate to only be down by 12. Again, they trailed by as many as 23 points in the first half, but much in part to that young man right there that we're showing on the camera, Teniel, who has 20 points. He got his team back in this game. And for the Buffs, there's Larry Wise. If you're WT, you want to have that strong defense again, not letting Oklahoma Christian do what they want to do, which is score layups. That's how they finished the first half. How did they get those layups? They actually forced a few turnovers and started playing better defense in the half court against WT.
At one time, they were down by as many as 23, and they have cut that deficit almost in half to 12. Be interesting to see if that same momentum carries through the second half, or if the Buffs start the half like they did the game and come flying out of the chute.
You know, the other stat you look at is turnovers. 9 turnovers for Oklahoma Christian and 7 for West Texas A&M. If WT can turn over the Eagles early in this half, Buffs can get out and run, get out in transition, and get those points off of turnovers, which are so good at converting.
Final score down in San Angelo, Colorado School of Mines advances in the NCAA D2 football playoffs with a 42-24 win over Angelo State University. Jeff Gersh and his staff had an outstanding season, but unfortunately it comes to an end. Elsewhere around the Lone Star Conference right now in men's basketball, Dallas Baptist defeats Cameron 78-74. St. Mary's leads Eastern New Mexico 28-23 late in the first. Western New Mexico trails St. Edwards 43-30 with 3 to play in the first. Lubbock Christian leads Arkansas Fort Smith 36-27 at the half. And Angelo State at the half leads Texas A&M International 44-30. We're ready to go. Both teams go with their original starting 5. For the Eagles, it's Edmondson, Gordon, Kenner, Madison, and Teniel. For the Buffs, it's Holt, Toussaint, Brown, Wallace, and Wise. And we wondered how the Eagles would start. There's the answer. Give it to Drew Teniel and let him take it inside. He's also going to draw the foul and head to the line. Adrian Wallace.
Or
Addison Wallace picking up the foul. Let's give it to Ryland Holt. My mistake.
We've seen WT commit 2 defenders to Teniel. They may have to commit 3 for a player that has 23 points.
Big-time performance. Here's Wise for the Buffaloes. Buffs clear out the side for him. Larry takes it to the rack, off the glass, and in the hole. 19 for Wise.
Yeah, kind of 2 players here. Showcase for Larry Wise and Teniel.
And he makes a steal and goes coast to coast. Let's talk about big-time plays and big-time players. Larry Wise, back-to-back buckets for the Buffs, creates the turnover and finishes.
He just went right underneath the defender. No chance to block his shot.
Buffs by 13. Here's a long 3 missed by Walter. Walter for the season just 1 of 5 from 3.
Whew. Larry had that 3 halfway down.
Here's Edmondson. Picked up by Brown. Lob inside. We've got a whistle and a hold.
Just barely a little bit of nudge as that ball is in the air. And I think the pass was on target. So really, for Antonio Gordon, he did not need the push-off. He's got the length. He's 6'9". He would have caught that, gathered it in, and most likely scored.
For Gordon, that's his 3rd. 6'9" junior from Lawton. Brown in the paint, kicks out to Wise. He's got 19. Why not go for 21 and send him to the line?
Actually, Kent, that's going to be 23.
That's 23,
yeah, 23
yes.
now for Larry. They just don't have an answer for Wise. The help defense is slow to come over. They can't help because there's so many shooters on the floor. And this is just easy money for Larry Wise.
He's quick off the dribble and accurate with the shot.
Job on the replay there, and as he converts the three-point play.
24 points for Larry. 27, his career high against UT Tyler last season.
He may be surpassing that today.
Edmondson lobs it to Gordon. Backs down on Wise, turns around, puts it up and in. Good strong basket by Gordon. He has 6. Brown stops, misfires, a little strong. Rebound to Kenner. To Walter, inside, too strong. There's the tap by Tenniel. He has 24.
Well,
actually, let's make it 23 for Tenniel.
And that's a new career high for Tenniel. His old career high, 22 points.
Team third.
Which came against Northeastern State. There it is. Where he also had shot made. Three-pointer. Oh, 26. There you go. 26 against Black Hill State
Earlier this year.
There you go.
He also had 24 against Harding. And he is currently at 25. There's a miss by Kenner.
That last possession, it was Addison Wallace that made the three.
Toussaint, why not? Rebound to Brown. Kicks outside to Wallace.
He didn't even jump for that rebound.
He came right to him. Brown up top, 10 on the shot clock, between the legs, almost loses it and does. And reaches in for the foul. And
probably a smart foul by Juju there because that was as a shoe came off there.
Julius first, the team's second.
Montre Edmondson, those are some nice sneakers as well. Love the sneaker game. He may be on the all-LSC sneaker team there before the season's over. Great job. Edmondson was getting ready to pass that ball over to Tenniel for what would have been a layup. And that is, we talked about earlier, rarely do we see Julius lose the ball. That time he got double-teamed and did turn it over.
Here's Kenner on the wing. Goes in on Toussaint. Knocked away. Wise with the steal. Buffs with numbers. Brown all the way for the lay-in. Okay, back to sneakers. You've got youngsters in high school.
Yes.
Do they come in the box that way, or do you request two shoes that don't match?
I think they actually come that way, Kent.
But it's cool.
And it is, as that's going to be an and one. Count the bucket for Montre.
Edmondson.
The sneakers working for Montre. A little extra mojo there. Yeah, and the thing is, too, is you'll see on Montre's shoes, Kent, the more colors, the better. The brighter they are, the more neon you can work in there, the better. He absorbed the contact and finished.
Julius
Beautiful shot.
Picking up his second foul in quick succession.
The other thing I'll say, Kent, as a dad of young kids with shoes, is they are so expensive. Growing up, it was I didn't get the Air Jordans and the $100 sneakers. Now that's a good deal if it's $100. Where's Payless, right? Kids don't even know what that is.
Here's Wallace, cross court to Wise. Larry takes it in. Reach by Tenniel, knocks it off Wise's knee. Eagles basketball out of bounds. 62-48 our score. We've got a full timeout on the floor. 15:51 to play. You're watching Buffalo basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Our score is 62-48. West Texas A&M leads by 14 points over these Eagles, who so far in the second half playing pretty tight with WT. It's 12-10 advantage West Texas A&M in the second half. Both teams still shooting really well for the game. 57% shooting for West Texas A&M, 53% from the field for the Eagles. One big difference, though, WT has made 8 threes, the Eagles just 2.
Here's Edmondson outside, harassed by Brown. Brown knocks the ball away. Edmondson recovers in the corner to Kenner. Mid-range, no good. Damian Thornton with a big man rebound there. And he'll go as far as he can until DeMond Thomas blows the whistle and calls the hold.
Kind of took an elbow to the stomach there.
This goes against DJ Walter, his second, team's fourth of the half.
Good drive, and right at the end, good job of going into the defense and recognizing that the defender was not set.
Inbound to Holt, Thornton, and now Wise. Larry up top. No one on him. He steps back, launches it, and drops it in.
You said it, Kent. No one on him. There was way too much space. Buffs went with a ball screen, and it was not defended well by Oklahoma Christian. As a result, Larry Wise makes him pay again.
27 points for Larry. That was his third three. He's 10 of 13 from the floor.
And Kent, what did you say Larry's career high? Did he just pass it or has he tied it?
He's 27 is his career high. Okay. He has tied it.
All right.
Buff foul called against Larry Wise. It's his first, team's fourth. At the line shooting twice, making the first Antonio Gordon, who now has 7.
You know, the Eagles team, Kent, last year they only won 8 games, 8-18 overall record. They were picked 14th in the Lone Star Conference preseason poll, but they've gotten off to overall a good start, 4 wins and 2 losses. That you can tell they've got a lot of talent. Just got to be able to put it together, and obviously on the road again, just like we talked about in the women's broadcast. This is a tough task starting the conference out at Lubbock Christian at WT.
Well, this conference in general, between the travel and the competitiveness of the teams, going on the road is brutal. That's what the Buffs and Lady Buffs are going to find out next week when they go to Kingsville and Laredo. Travel 10, 11 hours from home. There's a long three by Wise. Off the mark. Tenniel with the rebound. Buffs lead by 15, inside of 15 to play. Here's Kenner. Kicks it back outside to Edmondson, who is falling away backwards, and he cans the three.
2-man game, and it works well.
12-point lead for WT, 65-53. Buffs had 50 at the half.
I'm shaking my head because they went.
Lucas, you're shaking your head no as Toussaint does what he does best, which is launch threes from in front of the bench.
I was shaking my head. Well, there's another.
Look at the hustle by Muhammad, but he can't maintain possession. Edmondson puts up another three, no good, and now Toussaint with the rebound.
Yeah. Oklahoma Christian had switched to a zone, and that's why I was shaking my head. When you can't run the zone right there, you're going to leave someone open.
Like that, Toussaint, 3 and 1! The Buffs with ball control and a nice screen, free Zach Toussaint again. Here, let's look at it.
Well, it's a mistake. The defender comes off of Toussaint. You can't do that.
To double team Ahmed Muhammad on the drive.
Again, normal rules of defensive basketball, you got to guard the ball, right, because the ball scores as Toussaint makes the free throw there. But it's different. When you're guarding Zach Toussaint, I don't care where the ball is. Your job is to stay with number 14. Otherwise, he's going to do what he's done the last 2 possessions, which is drain the three-point shot.
And he's up to 14 tonight. Tenniel underneath, shot forced up by Madison, no good. We've got a whistle on the rebound. Let's see what we're calling here. Foul's going to go against Addison Wallace.
Oh.
It's the old cylinder play.
that one we haven't seen in quite a while.
It's been a while.
Muhammad had the rebound. He was up in the air with the ball in his hands. So I'm confused on this one. I'm also confused on why Oklahoma Christian is shooting free throws with nobody in the paint.
Montre Edmondson makes the only shot he had. We don't know, I'll admit.
Okay.
I do know that Zach's open again, taking a 3 and knocking down the 3. Don't worry about the fouls, Lucas. Toussaint's out there shooting threes. His 5th of the game. He had 7 last year at Midwestern State.
All right, so Oklahoma Christian, you're going to have to just cheat. You're going to have to get a 6th defender out there and just double-team Zach.
Edmondson with a strong drive. He'll go to the line. I think they...
Wow.
Did they get Zach or did they get Muhammad on this one? It's going to be on Holt. That's his 3rd. He's been quiet. Ryland has here in the second half, had 7 points at the half. Montre Edmondson at the line, shooting twice, knocks down the 1st.
So now Zach is up to, for his career, 239 made three-pointers, chasing Martin Letibier, who is in 3rd with 261 made threes, and then above him, Jay Smoove, Jordan Evans in 2nd place, and the guy sitting on the bench, David Chavlovic, assistant coach, he's at number 1 spot with a lot, 388. Zach just a junior, and so he's got another year still. But
so of that list you gave, of what'd you go, 5?
Zach's in 4th.
Okay, so of 4, 3 of them have played here in the last 9 years.
You're right. Tom Brown's recruiting mantra: if you don't shoot it, we don't recruit it.
Here's Wallace underneath to a Weezy. He'll go to the line. Strong move by Jesse. Would have been nice if he could have completed, but he'll go to the line shooting twice.
AOMS trip to the line.
Jesse's given some good production the last couple of games, coming off the bench, playing good defense, making the little plays.
That foul was on DJ Walter as Jesse knocks down the 1st. Second shot, also good. These are Jesse's first points of the game. Brock Mashak checks in, replacing Zach Toussaint, who may go over to the bench and get his shoulder iced like Nolan Ryan used to.
Just don't cool off, Zach. Stay hot.
Edmondson tries to drive on Brown, cut off. Near side, Walter, guarded by Aweezy. Up top to Kenner. Near corner, Walter, 3, got it.
Oh, big shot there for the Eagles.
9 points for DJ Walter. Averages 2.3. Buffs lead now at 18. Juju on the wing. Shot clock at 10. Finds a Wheezy who lost the ball, was bumped from behind, and we've got a whistle. This is going to be a foul. They're going to call it on Julius Brown for the reach. Tom Brown's not going to like that. Got a media timeout on the floor. 11:47 to play in the second. Buffs ahead, 77-59. You're watching Buffalo basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Our score here at the First United Bank Center, 77-59. Buffalo's lead over Oklahoma Christian, just the second conference game for these two teams. And Kent, we talked about it earlier, new look here in the LSC this year. It's East and West. So West Division, which WT is in, includes Angelo State, UT Permian Basin, Lubbock Christian, both New Mexico schools, Western and Eastern New Mexico, Cameron, and Midwestern State. On the other side, the East Division, Oklahoma Christian, UT Tyler, St. Edwards, Dallas Baptist, St. Mary's, Texas A&M International, Texas A&M Kingsville, and Arkansas Fort Smith.
So we're basically drawing a line down I-35, stretching from Edmond down to Kingsville, and whoever's on that line or to the east is in the Eastern Division.
Okay. Kind of like NBA has the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference.
And if you're in a part of Texas where you can see not only the sun rise and set, but also your dog walk for an hour, you're in the Western Division.
So in basketball, at least for the Lone Star Conference, we would be one of the rare college conferences that geographically makes a little bit of sense.
It does.
Everybody else in the country, you say, well,
yeah,
they're in this conference, they're in that conference. Well, they're located in New York, but they're in a conference that includes schools from Texas. That's kind of what it has turned to.
Yep.
Not the case.
All right, as we return to play, Carlin Kenner is at the line, and I believe he's going to be shooting 2 shots, make it a 1-and-1. And that's going to mean he'll end up shooting 2 shots.
Yeah, smooth left-handed release there.
As the Buffs as a team now have 7 team fouls. Kenner knocks them both down. Those are his first 2 points of the contest. Makes it a 15-point Buffalo lead at 76-51. Here's Mashak. Goes around a Wallace screen, back to Addison. To Wise. Larry uses Addison's screen, puts up a little floater, no good. Wise knocks it back to a Wheezy who flushes it home.
Yep, head tap there. The dunk on the defender, and Jesse exploded quickly.
He can do that.
Yes, he can.
It's Jesse's 4th point of the afternoon. Hunter Staten up top. This is Gordon. Goes around Wise.
Yeah, Larry got his arm hooked.
Larry with the hook. For Wise, that's going to be his 2nd personal. Watch the follow here.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Get it?
Wham!
Larry Wise, his 2nd, team 8. At the line, Antonio Gordon.
78-61 Buffs with 11:01 to play in the game. Staten heads to the bench. DJ Walter comes back for the Buffs. A Wheezy goes to the bench. Ryland Holt returns to the floor. Free throw by Gordon, no good. Buff lead stays at 17. Brown drives, forces one up. It won't go, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Good strength by Julius Brown there. He nearly put in the 2-pointer, but again, defender gets him on his hip.
Carlin Kenner picks up his 4th personal. And Kendra Talley leaves him out there. Now he comes out as Jaden Young, 6'3" sophomore from Hinesville, Georgia, checks in.
Yeah, this Oklahoma Christian team, a lot of transfers this season when you look at the roster from either junior colleges or other schools.
Juju makes the first, misses the second. He has 12 points this afternoon.
Tenniel working really hard with Addison Wallace guarding him. He wants the ball.
He has the ball. He scores, and he'll go to the line. And Addison Wallace says, what am I supposed to do?
It's been tough guarding Tenniel. He now has 27, a chance to make 28 points. Good position. He's so strong. Just goes right through the contact and finishes.
Tenniel knocks it down.
He's going to be a problem for a lot of teams in conference play this year.
Here's Wallace. Gets away to Holt. Back to Wise. Brown for 3. Won't go. Holt with the rebound. They're going to say on the floor that Ryland was undercut.
Yeah, they caught
Montre Edmondson. His 3rd. Holt will go to the line. He is 2 of 4 this afternoon.
Trip to the line.
First shot's good.
You know, even with Larry Wise having a really good individual performance, a lot of players getting in the mix today for the Buffs. You have Toussaint with 17, Julius Brown with 12, Iwizi with 4, Muhammad and Thornton each with 5, and Ryland Holt now with 9 points.
At about the time this game winds down, Lady Buff Volleyball goes for a national championship. We'll have it on the big screen here at the First United Bank Center, free of charge. There was a rumor floating around at halftime, Lucas, that you were buying hot dogs for everybody.
Oh, hot dogs, okay.
Well, confirm or deny?
I'll have to check the wallet, KJ. It's close to Christmas time.
Chelsea took the credit card with her.
Remember when I told you how expensive the shoes are?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, no hot dogs. Oh, nice feed from Brown to Holt.
Good finish by Ryland.
Ryland says I was pushed, but he gets the bucket, and a nice assist from Brown.
Holt's in double figures now.
Buffs lead back up to 19. There's a strip and a steal.
Yep, that was Holt again.
Inside of 10 to play. Buffs up by 19. Brown gets around Jaden Young, who gave up on the defense. Buffs pushed their lead to 21. Their largest lead was 23 in the first half. Little floater, Antonio Gordon.
Good smooth release there for Gordon. WT has 4 in double figures now after Holt had scored, and he's got 11.
Buffs' highest scoring output this year, 105 against Oklahoma Panhandle State. Their most against an NCAA Division II school was 90 at Florida Southern in a losing cause. Here's Wise, shot clock at 7. Larry puts it up. He'll go to the line. DJ Walter picks up his 4th, team's 9th.
Yeah, you know, the Buffaloes, you mentioned the Florida Southern game, Kent. Those first 2 games were, well, they were against the number 1 team in the country, first of all, in Northwest Missouri State, but then Florida Southern, a very good team as well. And so you start 0-2, and, you know, really no need to panic, because for WT, they were able to get things back in order, and they have done a good job since that point. I don't know what they're checking on here as Larry Wise waits to shoot free throws. But honestly, I know they've lost the first 2 games, but I was surprised they fell out of the top 25, you know.
Against that competition.
Yeah. Quickly worked their way back into the polls.
Wise' first shot was good. Yeah, the only thing I could think is the Buffs went nearly 2 weeks playing just 1 game, and that was against a non-NCAA D2 school. The rest of the world maybe is playing Division II competition, those that are in the top 25, and that's what caught them out. But the NABC poll is a beauty contest. It's not the one that matters, which is the regional poll, which doesn't come out until the latter weeks of the season. Brown knocks them both down. Or actually Wise, rather. Buffalo foul.
Number 5, Ryland Holt.
Against Ryland Holt, his 4th. That's going to send Jovan Savic to the line, shooting twice, makes the first.
I keep looking at the stats here on the shooting percentages, and they just continue to stay up. 60% from the field for the Buffaloes, 58% from the three-point line, 88% at the free throw line.
You know, if you look at the stats, you say these teams haven't played defense, but there has been some solid defense played. But there's also been some outstanding shooting. Thornton double-teamed in the backcourt, calls a timeout. 7:55 to play. Buffs lead at 86-68. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're watching Buffalo basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs!
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Welcome back to the First United Bank Center. WT in command, leading 87-68 over the Eagles of Oklahoma Christian. Lucas Kinsey alongside Kent Johnson, the Thunder Vision production team, bringing you this broadcast today. Great job by our director, Jacob Griffin, and the entire crew. The Lady Buffs were victorious in the first game today, winning by 15 points. Men doing their job right now, still 7:55 to play, but Kent today would love to have a sweep for WT, women's basketball, men's basketball, and then just one more. Give me that national championship on volleyball. Am I being too greedy before Christmas?
Sweep, but you think of the national championships that the Buffs and Lady Buffs have brought home in the last several years with women's track and field doing their job. Softball 2 years ago. Now this will be the full media timeout. 7:50 to play. Buffs lead at 87-68. We'll be back. You're watching Buffalo basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is...
Welcome back inside the First United Bank Center. There's the Oklahoma Christian huddle as they talk things over, trailing 87-68. Just a slow start for Oklahoma Christian in this ball game. They trailed by 23 points at around the 7-minute mark in the first half. Did battle back and cut the lead to 12 at halftime, but WT has come back and found its groove in the second half. Julius Brown will be at the free throw line to shoot a pair.
So far this evening, or this afternoon as the case may be, Brown 5 of 7 from the line as he knocks down the first. Looking at a second. Got them both. 15 points for Juju. Had 21 Thursday against Arkansas Fort Smith. Season highs 22 in the season opener against Northwest Missouri. Career high was 34 against San Angelo last season. Here's Gordon, drives in, gets around to Weezy for the lay-in. Gordon had 4 at the half. He's got 8 in the second half, 12 total. Here's Brown. Kicks it left wing to Wallace. Right side now to Thornton. Thornton gets up in the air, but we've got a whistle away from the ball. Gonna have a push off.
Who'd they call?
Number 15, Drew Tenniel.
Drew Tenniel picks up his second. Oh, that's it. That's 5 for Tenniel. My mistake. And that's a big loss for the Eagles as Tenniel fouls out with 28 points, 10 of 13 from the field, 2 of 2 from three-point range, 6 of 7 from the line, 4 rebounds.
Yeah.
Solid game.
Very good performance there by the young man out of Edmond, Oklahoma, Edmond Memorial High School, so local
Stay
product.
home. As a Weezy misses the first. Go ahead, Lucas.
Well, just, talk about Edmond, a growing suburb of Oklahoma City that obviously Oklahoma Christian there, University of Central Oklahoma as well, Division II school.
At one time, and I'm not up on golf, they played the PGA Championship there.
You're right.
Weezy misses both. Buffs lead remains at 19 as we approach the 7-minute mark. Edmondson misses a long 3. Thornton with the rebound. Here come the Buffaloes. Wise, right side. Thornton outside. No one comes out, so he's going to do it himself. Drives baseline, turns around, tries to feed a Weezy, and Jesse wasn't there.
I think his first intent there was to try to score, but he spun and saw he was kind of in trouble with the double team and then wanted to pass at the last second.
Saw the white jersey, but wasn't quite on the same page.
That was turnover number 13. Each team, 13 turnovers, not terrible. Of course, we've seen some games for the Buffaloes where they're under 10.
Shot put up, partially blocked. Antonio Gordon with the miss. Here's Wise, wide open in the corner. Can't get it to go down. Andre Talley working Damon Thomas.
He picked up a technical foul there.
Damon rang him up.
Yeah, frustrated, and we heard the thud as the body went to the floor, so Coach Talley may have something to be upset about on that last non-call, but now he's got to be careful. Doesn't want to pick up a second one.
Larry Wise goes to the line to shoot the technicals for the Buffaloes. Makes the first.
And you also have to wonder, Kent, it's early in the season, and so there's so much basketball to be played. But just 2 nights ago, Oklahoma Christian is in a battle. They lose in overtime. That had to be a tough loss. things have not gone their way today, and so just some frustration. But, again, this is a talented team. Wouldn't surprise me if they get things going and end up picking up some big wins throughout this season. They're just also playing a Buffalo's team that is gaining steam and getting everyone back together.
Buffalo's team that was expected to be good and is gaining steam from that.
Yes.
And that's not to over-tout the Buffs. That's the reality that we've seen thus far.
Watch
Here's
out.
Holt. Oh, and he misses the slam. Lucas Kinsey's going under the table.
I was about ready to get up out of my seat.
Now the Buffs get a little too fancy offensively and give it up at the other end. Gordon scores for the Eagles. The Buffs got too fancy, turned the ball over. Here's Holt open in the corner, underneath to Muhammad for the lay-in.
Just go more fundamental sound basketball there and get the layup.
Ryland rises above the rim, and Lucas Kinsey's going under the scorer's table. Oh, it's fun. Here's Gordon with a long three. He has lit it up in the second half. 13 in the half, 17 for the game. Buffs lead at 93-75, still 5.5 to play. Wise to the rack, yes, and one.
Larry has had a cheat code today. It's like in the video games when you're playing and you're like, that's not fair. You're just scoring every time. You have a cheat code. Well, Larry Wise, look at this. You know, you come out because he's going to shoot the three. Nope, I go right back at you, draw contact, and finish.
Wise makes them both. That's a career high for the sophomore from Waxahachie.
He has 33. Incredible performance by Larry Wise.
That's a walk. Carlin Kenner tried to stop, missed-dribbled, and took a step. Five minutes to go. The Buffs 4 shy of 100. Wise up top, left wing to Holt, back to Larry. Inside of 5 to play in the ball game. Wise spins, misses, but there's Muhammad with the follow. It won't go down.
Oh, he was hanging in the air.
He has got some hop. And that's a walk.
Yeah.
By Savage.
You know, you just mentioned, Kent, that they're 4 points away from 100. And what did we say at the very beginning of this game about Oklahoma Christian? The Eagles were holding opponents to 64 points a game.
Scoring 79, so they're on pace to hit their norm. The Buffs averaged 81. They are 15 over that right now.
The bank's open.
Nick Jett comes off the bench and banks it in.
That's why we call it the First United Bank Center, right?
99-75, 4:15 to play. Here's Gordon. It's going to be pushed.
I think they called Jett with the foul. He was caught. That was a mismatch there for Nick Jett, but he was battling. He was trying against 6'9" Antonio Gordon.
Nick Jett, 6'2" freshman from Frisco, picks up his first. Gordon at the line, shooting twice. No good on the first.
The Eagles, coming into this game defensively, were allowing just under 8 three-pointers made by their opponents. The Buffs have sank 12 today.
Muhammad from 15, no, but there with the rebound, the putback, Mashak, and it won't go down.
Good hustle by Brock.
And that'll take us to the under 4-minute mark. 3:57 to play. We're at a media timeout. Buffaloes cruising 99-75. You're watching West Texas A&M basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Welcome back to Canyon, Texas, where the Buffaloes are on top. They are 1 point away from the century mark, 99-75, and WT looking to start the conference play 2-0. You know, Kent, this team has won the last 5 LSC tournament championships, as that free throw is good for Brock Meshach. Buffaloes have had great postseason success with Tom Brown, 6 straight NCAA tournament appearances. Both free throws good there by Meshach. They've been to the Elite 8 several times, the Final Four a couple times, and of course the national championship where they fell to Northwest Missouri State in a couple seasons ago, and it's really becoming one of those elite programs. We talked about it before, Kent, the new day and age for Division II in recruiting, whether it's high school or college players. Canyon, Texas is a place where players want to come. They can win, they can have a lot of fun.
Great facilities.
Yep.
Play in front of good crowds.
Energetic broadcasters, right?
Let's see who this foul's going to go on against the Buffaloes. At the last timeout, Journey Phillips took to the floor. His first appearance today, as well as Parker Nielsen, 6'4" sophomore from Prescott, Arizona. At the line, Antonio Gordon. Missed the first, got the second. 101-77, 3:30 to play.
Gordon's had a really good game, 7 rebounds to go with his 19 points.
Here's Muhammad. A little shake and bake outside.
Oh.
Buffs turn it over. And good length there by Gordon. The lob by Edmondson, and I don't know.
And Nick Jett got a hand on it and knocked it away. Good defense, good hustle by number 13, Jett.
I don't know when you're trailing by 24 if that's what your coach wants to see you doing or not. Just take it to the rack. Edmondson to inbound. Gets it in to Gabe Seat, 6-foot freshman from Edmonton. Averages 3.5 points a game. He'll stop, lobs it into Gordon, and Gordon cleared out inside.
Yeah, you saw Brock Meshach kind of crumble to the ground there. There's a reason he was fouled. I thought it was Meshach. Is he not going to be shooting free throws? Oh, okay, it's a non-shooting foul. And Tom Brown hollers out, run the 5 out.
That's what we've been doing all day, Coach.
And it's been working quite well to the tune of 101
Look
points.
Look at Meshach take it in strong. Can't finish, though, and the Eagles get the rebound. Buffs have out-rebounded OCU to this point, 31-24. There's a turnover. Muhammad comes up with it, ahead to Phillips. Journey in the paint. Gets that ball down. Got to pull it up. Journey Phillips on the wing. Kicks it back outside to Nick Jett. His 3, strong. Will go the other way. DJ Walter. Kicks outside to Tyler Toth. 6'6" sophomore from Edmond. Staten loses possession. Nielsen comes up with the ball. Inside of 2 to play. Buffs by 24. No one comes out on Mashak. He looked at the rim a little too long, but gets the long rebound. Kicks it out in the corner. Muhammad for 3. It won't go. Mashak with the rebound. His putback no good.
Hey, three looks. You got to like that possession. They just wouldn't fall.
There's a steal, and Nick Jett takes it in for the easy flush.
Hey, would you call that a gentle jam?
The gentle jam. Nick didn't want to show up. That's what it was. Take it easy.
That's getting a smile from his teammates on the bench. I don't think they were holding up 10s on that dunk there, Kent, but it's a dunk nonetheless for Nick Jett.
Approaching the 1 minute mark, Buffs leading at 103-77. Here's Staten. Turns around, tries to take it to the rack on Parker Nielsen and took a step. One minute to play. Buffs lead at 103-77. Mashak for 3. His first field goal of the game. He has 5 points. The Buffs have 106. Here's Toth. Little floater gets it to fall.
Yeah.
2 points this afternoon for Toth. Approaching the 30-second mark. Muhammad outside. His 3, too strong. Rebound to Toth. Outlet to Seat. Shot clock is off as going baseline. Ryan Schlup, 6'5" sophomore from Ada, Oklahoma.
Latta High School down there, East Central Oklahoma. This is a really, really strong performance by the Buffs because this is a solid Oklahoma Christian team, Kent. They just got work today, 106-81.
Buffs run their record to 4-2, 2-0 in Lone Star Conference play. Oklahoma Christian falls to 4-3, 0-2 in Lone Star Conference play. Buffs win it, 106-81. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with our post-game wrap. You're watching Buffalo basketball on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Went for a onside kick. Landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences has provided high-quality education to the students of the Panhandle and beyond.
At WT, professors know me and are committed to my success.
If you want to get an ag industry job, WT is where you need to be.
I don't want just a job and a paycheck after graduation. I want a career where I can make a difference.
WT invested in my career. I intend to pay it forward.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Welcome back to the First United Bank Center. Kent Johnson with our player of the game, Larry Wise.
Welcome back to the First United Bank Center. West Texas A&M cruises to a 106-81 victory over Oklahoma Christian. Joined now by the sophomore from Waxahachie, Texas, Larry Wise. Career high 33 points today, going 11 of 17 from the floor. We made the comment on our pregame show, you were held scoreless Thursday night, and we knew that your competitive spirit, you were going to have a good one today. Tell us how you took it out.
Oh, it's just all about preparation, just staying with the work and the grind, always staying in the gym. And then I got hella teammates over there who kept my head high, even though I didn't have the ideal game that we had on Thursday. But it's always good to have those moments when you can win regardless. So I'm glad we got a win today and on Thursday.
Now, this was an Oklahoma Christian team that fell to Lubbock Christian Thursday night in overtime. They're a good team, as we saw some outstanding play, but you guys really played some good defense today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thanks to Coach Chab and Gove and Coach Brown for getting us prepared. We knew that 15 and 2 were going to be one of their go-to guys who were going to try to get to the lane, get to the bucket, and they still showed us that today, but we were able to come out with.
So we open conference play at 2-0. Now next week you get the long trip down to Kingsville and Laredo before the Christmas break.
Oh, yeah, that'll be exciting. We get to see a former Buff that used to go here, so that'll be a fun matchup.
We can say his name, Kevon Booker. He's still a friend.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
All right, the Buffs having an autograph party. We'll let you go do it, and we'll let Tom Brown step in. Congratulations, Larry.
Thank you.
We'll be joined now by the Buffs head coach, Tom Brown, and a great offensive performance today. We just talked to Larry Wise, who had a career-high 33, but defensively a nice job as well.
Yeah, I thought a great job defensively just on their whole team. I thought 15, though, kind of, we gave him a couple. We knew he's looking for his shots, and we gave him a couple easy baskets, and then that kind of got him going. He made some tough shots as well, and when you're a good player in this league, you're going to put up some points, just like Larry did today. Larry's a really good player, and we got a few others that can put up 30 points at any given time. But we shut a lot of the other players down from Oklahoma Christian. I thought our effort was great from start to finish. We had a lapse there, probably the last minute or two of the first half. They went on a little run to get it down to 12, and they had pretty good momentum coming out for the second half. But I thought we played a pretty complete game except for maybe two little stretches. If we can get rid of that, we could be really good.
So now you open conference play at 2-0, and you've got the long road trip to Kingsville and Laredo next week.
Yeah, it is, and that's the one thing too. And Oklahoma Christian's a pretty good team, but they were just on the road the weekend before, I believe, and then they're on the road again this weekend, playing down at Lubbock in a close game, overtime game. They don't go real deep. And so they looked, not that they looked tired, but I think we were a little fresher today. And this conference is so tough in the fact that a lot of good teams, but then your travel. I mean, to go 10 hours down to Kingsville and then over to Laredo and back, I mean, we're going to be gone. It's a long trip, and it just wears on you. And so when you have these home games, you got to really take care of business at home.
Well, you did a nice job today, Coach, and we look forward to 2 great games next week.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Kent.
That's Tom Brown. Buffs win it 106-81. We're going to take a timeout, then we'll be back to wrap it up here. You're watching Buffalo basketball on the LSC Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
great job down there on the interview. Kent Johnson with Tom Brown and also Larry Wise, our player of the game, as the Buffaloes win it 106-81. Hearing some applause in the back as a lot of the fans sticking around, and they're going to watch the Division II Volleyball Championship here at the First United Bank Center. Lady Buffs getting set to take on Concordia St. Paul. All right, our final here, 106-81. Buffs, 50 points in the first half, 56 in the second half, and it was what an offensive performance as we put up the team stats there on your screen. And you see there the shooting percentages, unbelievable, 53% from the field. Of course, Oklahoma Christian shot 53% as well. They were pretty solid offensively in spurts. But some differences that you look at on the stats there, you see WT made 13 three-pointers and a high percentage at that, 13 out of 25. Good for 52% from the three-point line. The Buffs were also excellent. That's 2 games in a row in conference play here, Kent, that the Buffaloes were tremendous at the free throw line as well. Today they were 29 of 34 there at the charity stripe. They out-rebound the Eagles by 6, and they had 6 fewer turnovers. And so it was a good job down there on the interview with Coach Brown and with Larry. This is a team that is getting better and better and just doing a great job.
And they're still fun to watch.
Yes.
You know, we talk about WT basketball, the flow that they get up and down the court. You know, it gets overlooked, and we keep bringing it up, but it's the truth. They play defense.
Yeah.
And when they needed to stop today, they got the stop. They had their runs. You know, not every game do you drop threes to the tune of 13 out of 25, but when you do, you take advantage. They did that. You know, Larry Wise with an outstanding game, but then you also look at, you know, Julius Brown with 16, Zach Toussaint with 17, Ryland Holt with 11. You know, that's they come, and then you got Brown and Holt with 5 rebounds. It was Coach Brown in the postgame there talked about next week's trip and the travel and the 10 and 12-hour bus rides and how tough it is on the road, and how he thought that Oklahoma Christian was maybe a little bit winded today.
Sure.
Because they've been on the road for 2 weeks. But this Buff team is deep, and when they go to the bench, they don't lose a lot, and that could be a plus for them next week when they go to Kingsville and Laredo.
I completely agree with you on that, and I think that you're seeing this team start to really gel, have more fun, trust each other, and kind of know what each player's strengths and weaknesses are, and that makes a huge difference as well. You mentioned Ryland Holt. I kept talking about his play. 11 points, 5 rebounds. He had a couple of big shot blocks as well. He nearly had the dunk of the season as I got out of my chair, but Ryland is a player you can tell he's gaining more confidence and having fun as well.
Well, it's a lot of fun. Let's have we looked at the stats yet?
Yeah, team stats.
So we're good with that. We've talked about individual leaders. So with that, we're going to say great job, Lady Buffs. Great job, Buffaloes. And now we'll turn our focus to Lady Buff volleyball as they make their 5th national title game appearance. They're up in Seattle,
right.
Washington tonight, playing Concordia St. Paul. Buffs are on the road next week. Kingsville Thursday, Laredo against A&M International on Saturday. We will be back here December 14th for community game with the Lady Buffs. That's a Wednesday, December 14th at 10:30 a.m. Then it's the Christmas break. Conference play resumes on December 30th when Midwestern State comes to the First United Bank Center. Great job today, and a shout-out to our Thunder Vision crew, our director, Jacob Griffin, camera operators, A.J. Rogers, Emma McReynolds, Gaston Yobol, and Tyrone Leggett, for my broadcast partner, Lucas Kinsey. I'm Kent Johnson, thanking you for joining us this afternoon, and until next time, stay safe. You've been watching West Texas A&M basketball right here on the LSC Digital Network.